Welcome back to the channel, everybody. A really quick video today. I went to my local card show, which occurs once a month on the first Sunday of the month, locally in Schaumburg, which is about 10-15 minutes from where I live out here in the Chicagoland area. And it's usually mostly modern dealers for the most part, but there was a few vintage exclusive dealers. And this is probably the fastest that I've ever gone through a card show because I didn't go past the first booth. I only went to one other, and that was a dealer that I knew and wanted to talk to him for a little bit, and I purchased something from him, but the other cards were all purchased from the same dealer. And so my transactions were pretty much done within 10 minutes of the card show. So let me show you what I got. Starting off, this is actually from the dealer that I know and have bought some things from before. So we talked for about 20 minutes, and he had a group of graded cards in his case that he was trying to get rid of. So he's priced them at priced them at prices that will allow them to move quickly. And he had this Al Lopez in there, and I didn't offer what he put it as a sticker value, and he was willing to take a little bit less than what he had originally placed on there, which was really great for me because I was able to pick up this Al Lopez 64 Topps card in a near mint 8. So if you kind of think about it, I mean, it costs more to grade these cards now than what I paid. And if you were getting like a near mint or close to near mint version of this card, that's probably, I don't know, $4 or $5 maybe from most dealers when you're trying to put a set together. And then you have to pay grading fees on top of that. So this is just a win-win-win all around. So there we go. Al Lopez, White Sox and Cleveland Indians manager and former Major League catcher, was the first one. The next three were all from the same guy, and was able to negotiated a deal. He had a group of SGC graded cards that he said he wasn't too happy with the grades on. He had them for 20% off the prices that were listed. And then he had a group of some PSA cards too, which weren't discounted, but it was open to negotiation. So it was kind of funny because the cards that he had that were ungraded in his raw collection that he was selling there for everybody were priced a little bit higher, and probably I bet had a little bit less room for negotiation. But these graded cards, it looked like he just wanted to get rid of them. So benefit for me and benefit for the hobby in general, I think, for collectors, because now is just such a great time to buy. So I think he was trying to get out of water on these cards and was trying to move them as quickly as could. So we'll start from newest to oldest, starting with the 1960 Whitey Ford in an SGC 5.5. That gravitated towards this card because it is a set at some point I do want to be able to build. It's not one I'm actively working on, but I thought this card had pretty good centering for the most part. You can see it's a little off from top to bottom, which probably brought the grade down, and the edges have a little bit, you can tell the tips have been, show some wear on here, but the edges look pretty well. The back has definitely had some aging on here. It's not as bright as you see as some other cards. So that probably did take it down from a higher grade, but I am perfectly fine picking up a Whitey Ford within this purchase because it was a really good deal overall for the cards together. The next one in that collection that I picked up from that dealer was the 1955 Bowman Nellie Fox. So actually I'm only down to the 54 Bowman card of Nellie Fox to have his Bowman run. It's not something I'm actively working on, but you know, this was a card at some point I wanted to be able to pick up, and for the price it was asking, it was part of the overall transaction, so I got it for a little bit less, but even its asking price was like $25. I mean, you could get that maybe on eBay too, but then you still have to pay for taxes and shipping. So this just seemed like a fair deal all around. And it's a fun card because he was one of the ones where he got asked about his favorite baseball memories. And some of the ones that I thought were pretty interesting when I read it is the funniest thing that he saw as a player was when Larry Doby got hit on the head by a pop fly in 1948. And that his best hitters he's ever seen were Ted Williams and Stan Musial. And the best pitchers are Bob Lemon and Robin Roberts. So that was pretty interesting, kind of like listening to that. As you can see, that's a kind of a theme of players of that era, that they really looked up to Williams and Musial at that point. But the pitchers, you know, Lemon and Roberts, not ones you instantly kind of think of great pitchers from that era, but they really kind of stood out amongst the players who played with them. So they definitely do have some needed respect there for sure. So I'm going to put Nellie off to the side here because I want to leave space for this one, because this was the one I was really happy with, and this is the one that gravitated me towards looking deeper into the box to see if I could make a better deal. is, as I mentioned at the beginning of the year, and my actually end of the year video, I was going to try and get some more 52 Topps cards. But I was going to be patiently picking those up. I'm not actively trying to aggressively get them, and I'm just going to pick up ones I think are really good deals when I see them, or ones that have really good centering and good edges, and ones that might grade pretty well. Well, this one hits the boxes on a lot of them. Aside from the centering, this Richie Ashburn is really good looking card, for the most part. The edges have some wear, so clearly it's not a knit card at all, but the registration on here couldn't be better, I feel. The colors are really well represented on there. It's still got white borders, which I think are really good on vintage cards of this era, so often they've grayed. And the back is still pretty clear. It's clearly miscut though, but it's very legible and you can read the entirety of it. There's definitely the wax stain that's on here that's really embedded into the card, so that kind of takes away a little bit from its luster. And you can see part of the other card at the top here on the very edge of it. You can see the trademark that's here that obviously got miscut in the entirety of the sheet. But really happy to be able to pick up this Richie Ashburn. And, I don't often talk about what I pay for cards, and I don't think most people on YouTube do either. But these three together, I was able to walk out of there just paying $100 for the three of them. So, like, prices are coming down. It's a great time to be a collector. If you still have the appetite to get in there and you have the resources to do so. So I'm really happy being able to pick these all up at mid-grade for the most part, except for the Ashburn, or even higher with Al Lopez, and didn't really spend much money at all. Really happy with the purchase. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll be back soon.